Welcome to the Mike Kellar Show. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, just initial thoughts, reactions on Saturday's win at Concord.
Well, it's good to come away with a win. Don't think we played our best game or our worst game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told the team all week, and we talked about it in the interview a week ago, Concord was not, even though their record reflected not being a very good football team, they were not an inept football team.
Yeah.
You know, they were solid in a lot of areas. They got some guys who can jump on your shoe. You can see they're getting better every week. So I knew, you know, I coached there for 2 years. I knew going down there and homecoming there would be a great atmosphere, and I knew that they would show up and play, and I just hoped that we would. And even though we made some mistakes, we really executed at a decent level. Just had, you know, both sides. If I could take 5 plays out of both sides of the game, I thought we played pretty well. But those 5 plays on each side could have been very costly to us.
And you mentioned that you're down 21-10. Mm-hmm. They get the onside kick. They're about to score. You turn them over. You get the ball back. You eventually end up scoring 14 unanswered. What'd you like out of your guys being able to come back?
Well, we went for it there on our own 30 or 35, which wasn't the smartest coaching move I ever had. And I'll be honest with you, it was more about trying to give us a spark, you know, on both sides of, hey, man, I'm going to try to, you know, I was trying to show them I'll compete if you all compete, you know, and I don't know if that worked because we ended up turning the ball over on downs, actually threw an interception, which was probably the best thing that could happen because at least we got a little field position out of it. And then our defense came through with another big turnover, and then we kind of found our way on offense and settled in on defense and quit giving up the big spit run and won the football game.
And you mentioned the defense. I mean, a lot of stats to go through. Diaz had 2 forced fumbles, 7 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. His MEC and National Defensive Player of the Week. What was it like to be able to watch his performance?
Oh, that's who he could be. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the guy he should be. On all honesty, I think he'd be the first to tell you he left some plays out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, there were 2 or 3, you know, zone reads where we had him for tackles for loss, and the quarterback pulled at the last second, and Jameer was all over the field. He ran by a couple, but I think Jameer's a great player, and when he does hone it in and control it, he could be a really great player. I think you got a glimpse of who he is and who he can become.
And then now shifting to West Liberty, they've won 2 out of their last 3. What have you seen out of them?
It's the, you know, same West Liberty team we play every year. Get dynamic in a couple key spots. Their tailback is excellent. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, you know, I feel like I say that every week, and I've been right every week. But this kid's a really good football player. A couple really good receivers. They've changed quarterbacks. You know,
played 3 so far this year.
They've played 3, and they seem to have been winning with the guy they got in there now. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think West Liberty kind of similar to what we're talking about Concord. Their record doesn't reflect a great. I don't think our record reflects the team that we are. You know, and good defensive football team. A lot of this league is the same team. You know, and it's just who's better that Saturday. So, you know, I tell our team, quit worrying about who we're playing. Let's just try to control and worry about us, and hopefully that's what we do this weekend.
And, I mean, you talked about the quarterbacks. Do you see that as a kind of a chance to take advantage of, that they've had to run through 3 different quarterbacks so far this year?
I'm sure that they're just looking to see who their guy is. I don't know if injuries had a part in it, or if they think the other kid. I coached with Roger and that staff, and they're good coaches and good people, and I'm sure they're looking to see, you know, which kid fits their identity and what their identity is. I've been there myself. I understand what you're trying to do there, and then you settle in with a kid and he wins a couple games for you, and that gives you as a staff some confidence, and I'm sure it bred some confidence in their team. And
then on the defense side of the ball for them, they've given up 40 or more points 5 times, 50 plus twice. They give up 67 to Pembroke. What have you seen out of their defense?
Well, I mean, they're better than that. You know, Frostburg and Pembroke were really hot those 2 days.
Yeah, they come at the wrong time.
Yeah, they come at the wrong time. And Frostburg, you know, we played them pretty tough and got beat bad. You know, so they're a good football team. So you really can't judge it by that. They're coached up. You know, they've been running it. You know, they'll change fronts. They'll change coverages up on you. We did some stuff last night to try to help us read those things on the fly. It'll be a different fit for our eye, so to speak. But you know, if we go through our fundamentals and execute, then we're good. You know, if we don't, then we're not good versus air if we don't. You know, if we do things the right way, then we got a chance.
And then last, so this season's kind of been like a roller coaster. You've lost 2, you win 2, you lose 2, now you've won again. How do you kind of roll with the tide and keep the wins coming this time?
You just, you know, you got to look at each week like it's its own deal. It's a cliche. I was talking to one of my good friends this morning, Ernie McCook up at Shepherd, and I was, you know, these coaching cliches, they've been around a long time for a reason because they're true. You know, you just got to be 1-0 that week. You know, each team, each matchup's its own entity. The way we face and match up against Concord may be totally different than the way West Liberty does. So you can't look at our team, their team. It's each week's its own entity. I mean, if you'd have told me, I mean, you see Fairmont and Pembroke and some of these. I mean, I'd hate to make a living trying to bet on these games because I ain't been right on it. I mean, it's a crazy league, and all you can do is just look who's in front of you and try to play better that week.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Mike Kellar Show.